Hi everyone, today we're going to take a look at these really cool and really cute little USB bulbs from CDRKING, and these are just 45 peso each. Now if you haven't guessed, they're basically USB light bulbs. You can plug it into a power pack, for example, like this one, and it lights up like that. So pretty cool, and they could be quite useful as an emergency backup. For instance, when a typhoon's coming or something like that, where there might be a brownout, you can just plug it into your regular USB power bank that you use for your cell phone. Now, like I said, you can also run them on a regular AC USB charger. Just plug that into the mains, plug my USB light in, and it works. Now, I was actually planning to make a YouTube video about how to take a standard household LED bulb, like an AC bulb, and convert it to USB. And then I happened to be in CDRKING just looking around, and then I saw these for just 45 pesos. So I thought I'd definitely grab some and test them out, and they're actually pretty good. They're not super high wattage. They're around, I'm going to show you, but they're around 0.8 watts. When I compared it against an iPhone 6 camera light, the flashlight on the back of the phone, this was probably about double the brightness. The thing to remember is that this has a very wide pattern. This lights up a full 360, whereas the iPhone is more of a flashlight in one direction. So when comparing them, you do have to take that into account. This really, if you put this in the middle of the room, for instance, if you've got a brownout, you grab your power pack and you just plug it in and put it in the middle of the room, it actually does very well at sort of distributing the light evenly throughout the room. So it's much better than a cell phone in that regard. Of course, it's not going to be super bright, but you can move around and still do things safely. It's better than being in the pitch black. So here I have my PortaPow USB watt meter, and this will allow us to see how much power this thing consumes. So I'll plug it in and I'll zoom in on the screen. So you can see it's consuming 0.77 watts or 0.15 amp. Now if you bear in mind that your cell phone normally charges at 1 amp or even higher, so this is only consuming 0.15 amp. So if you connect it to a power bank like this, it's going to last a very long time. Now you might be wondering what's inside here, or you might be thinking you already know because it's just a very basic little device. Well, I'll open it up and show you. So with a little bit of work, you can pry the top off, and then you can have a look inside, and there's really not much to this. Let me just loosen up the board. So if you look inside here, you can see there's just two wires going down to the USB connector, nothing else down there. Then you've got this PCB here. It doesn't have any kind of heat sink or any metal. You've just got a little resistor here, and then the LED, and that is literally the whole thing. Nothing more complicated than that. Very simple. You could always modify this with a larger LED, but then you'd have to consider some kind of heat sink. But anyway, yeah, very, very basic, but that's all it needs to be. So now I've got the lights off and I'm holding the light about 1 meter above the camera. It's kind of hard to get a good idea of how bright it is because the camera adjusts depending on how much light is available, and you know, it's kind of hard to capture on camera. But as a comparison, I guess I would say it's about twice the brightness of a camera phone flashlight. So imagine if you had two phones with their flashlights on, it's roughly the same brightness. So there you go, it's pretty cool. They're very cute, and you know, you might as well just get a couple and keep them around the house so that if you do ever have a brownout or a blackout, it's a lot easier to keep these little power banks charged and just to plug them in here and have them ready. So if you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe for future videos. And if you want to see a review of the mobile power bank from CDRKING, click here now. Thanks for watching.